Hugh Jackman has just spoken out, sort of, and he's 100% behind Blake and Ryan. We've got to get into the details. So I came across this, popped up on my feed, my news feed, as I try to make sure I stay on top of any news about Blake and Ryan and Justin Baldoni and this whole saga. I'm just so disappointed with mainstream media. I'm always disappointed. But, in particular, just seeing the articles that are coming out are so ridiculous, such PR fluff. It's nauseating. Like, I don't know why they can't see themselves, why the mainstream doesn't realize this is why people don't trust them or are listening to them anymore. And even I read something on a documentary that this documentary that I talked about yesterday that's coming out with this lawyer was just like, Blake has a strong case, clearly not looking at the case. And then some other PR person they got to participate in this said that they're like two high schoolers fighting, or it's like a high school drama. Isn't that sickening that somebody could be bullied to the point that they're hospitalized, that their name has been defamed, that they've been falsely accused of sexual harassment, that they've been bullied even in a movie like Deadpool to the point where it was acted out of killing them, had their lives turned upside down, their business destroyed. All of these things that have been coming from Blake and Ryan's end, and Justin has done nothing to them other than defend himself at this point. And the fact that they are lowering this to just some high school drama situation, like it's a real he said, she said, is absolutely grotesque, because that's not it. And that's like telling a kid in school who's been bullied nonstop by the people who, by the big bullies of the school, and been completely destroyed to the point of being hospitalized. And you just like, this is just some high school drama. There's both sides to the story. If that was the case, they would not be doing this. And I do believe if it was reversed and a man was accusing a woman of something or something like that, that there will be a lot more support in the media for Justin Baldoni. But because he's a man, well, he should just take it. That he somehow caused this to happen to himself, as though he's created any of the toxic things that have happened towards him, and really victim blaming and victim shaming. And I think it is, when this is all done, the media is really going to have to answer for the things that they have put out here and how they have not tried to be fair in any capacity to this case, nor have they looked at the evidence, because if they did, not a single one of these souls will be up here grandstanding for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. But of course, Hugh Jackman, who he and Ryan Reynolds said that they are married, that's what their relationship is. They share their deepest, darkest secrets. Their long walks together daily is their favorite part of the day. And, just very sus behavior. We already know what happened in Deadpool with Ryan's daughter that Hugh Jackman was part of. There are no words at how disappointed I am also in Hugh Jackman, because I liked him. It's not that I watched everything that he was in, but if he was in a movie, I generally thought it would be good and I wanted to see him. And I especially really started liking him through X-Men and him playing Wolverine. He was one of my favorite characters. But just to know what's going on behind the scenes, it just gives me the ick to even think about any of these people in the movies that they've been in. But here we go. Hugh Jackman 100% on Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' side amid Justin Baldoni legal drama. Child, there's going to be some BS, but we got to do it, y'all. If I have to read it, so do you. You're coming with me. So Hugh Jackman is the latest of Blake Lively's powerful friends to be dragged into her and Ryan Reynolds' lawsuit with Justin Baldoni. And a source exclusively tells In Touch he'll be backing his close pals as he believes they're in the right. Notice that there's sources. He's not standing on business or standing 10 toes and coming out and making a public statement. Pretty much no one in Hollywood is doing that. Ari Emanuel tried it, and we see what happened with that. So none of their friends have come out to support them. Nobody is really saying anything. Anybody who initially did, well, it's been crickets lately, or like America Ferrera, she has deleted the post that was on her Instagram in support of Blake Lively. But We haven't heard. It's been crickets. It's been crickets. And it's also been crickets about what happened with Ryan's daughter, but Hugh Jackman got time for this. Okay. After Blake 37 filed a lawsuit against It Ends With Us director 41 in December of 2024, accusing him of inappropriate behavior while on set, their legal battle has escalated and expanded, with Justin now also suing the New York Times in addition to Blake and Ryan, while alleged. Okay, we know all this. Let's go on. Now, in addition to Taylor Swift getting caught up in the feud, it's likely the Prestige star 56 will have to be deposed before the trial to discuss what exactly Ryan was up to while Blake and Ryan were filming It Ends With Us and Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's not forget that. Which happens to be when he was hanging around with Hugh for Deadpool and Wolverine. No, Deadpool and Wolverine is in the mix of this. That isn't like some side project like Justin Baldoni is Nice Pool. We need to know everything. Like production is going to have to be deposed. Disney's going to have to be deposed. Sony's going to have to be deposed. This is a big deal. I'm not sure why they put it like this. If this actually goes all the way to court and he was forced to take the stand, there's no question he will step up, the source says. At this point, Ryan is like a brother to him. I thought he was like a husband or a wife to you. Y'all said that y'all are in a marriage. Like a full-blown article, full-blown interview that y'all sat down for to discuss your marriage. So I'm confused about the little brother situation at this point. But okay. He will have his back no matter what it takes. Mm-hmm. A different source, so multiple sources, this is how you know it's coming from his camp. A different source speaking to Daily Mail told the outlet, Hugh will be deposed if this goes to trial. There is no way that he cannot. According to the report, Justin's lawyers will be looking at the full scope of Reynolds' conduct while they filmed in order to make their case that he's been targeted and smeared. The first source notes that even though Hugh is well aware that Justin's legal team is threatening to depose him, they're not threatening to depose him. Those are just the facts of what need to happen based on the evidence and your involvement in the case. So there is no threat. Let's fix our language and stop being hyperbolic here. You're part of it. You're not being threatened. That's just how the legal system works. The Wolverine star has no issue with it because there's nothing to hide. He's got no doubt about Ryan and Blake's conduct and is 100% on their side. The legal fight has gotten extreme as both parties ready themselves for trial. Rumors of a disagreement began after Justin and Blake began rarely appearing alongside each other during promotional events for the film and were confirmed after her initial filing, which made numerous demands of Justin's behavior on set, including no more showing nude videos or images of women, including the producer's wife, to Blake Lively and her employees. No more mention. Okay, so that nude, I have to always clarify that nudity that they're referring to was pictures of her home birth, a water birth with the baby in it. And they're filming a birthing scene in the movie, and it was used for a reference. But now, in her world, this is pornography. So any of you who have pictures of your birth or video of your birth, just know that Blake Lively and many of these Hollywood people now consider that to be pornography, nudity. Okay. No more mention of Mr. Baldoni's pornography addiction, which while Blake and Justin were discussing a scene, an intimacy scene, the intimacy coordinator suggested that Baldoni's character would not climax before Blake, that he actually would go on in that scene and not climax, just pleasing her. And that so that Baldoni's character wouldn't. This was the notes from the intimacy coordinator that she refused to meet with. So then she wanted him to meet with her in her home in private to discuss the notes that he had to take in detail to discuss the scene. So then when they were discussing that, she said, "Oh, I would be mortified if that happened," meaning she personalized it and inserted herself as the person and saying that if my partner or whatever did not climax during sex, then I will be mortified. Justin Baldoni responded, Those have been some of the most beautiful moments between me and my wife. And then as they were discussing the scene, Blake again inserts herself and given her personal experience, saying that she has never seen pornography. Okay, sis. You married to Ryan Reynolds, and we believe that. We believe that. She's never seen it. And Justin Baldoni responded, "That's great for you." He was saying that that's really great because I was exposed to it when I was 10, and I struggled with it for years because of my early exposure to pornography. So she talks about something personal, he adds something personal to, for them to, like a normal conversation that anybody would have. But now this is inappropriate behavior and sexual harassment that, even though she initiated these conversations. Okay. Or to the crew members, and no more inquiries by Mr. Baldoni to Blake Lively's trainer without her knowledge or consent to disclose her weight, which he asked about because he has a debilitating back injury, which he cannot lift a certain amount of weight. And that's why it was asked. Nobody gives a damn how much you weigh, sis. Like, she really thought Justin Baldoni wanted her. Like, she's just so irresistible. He just couldn't help himself. He's just doing all of this. Lies. Justin retaliated by claiming Blake, and he did not retaliate. He did not retaliate. You see these articles, how dishonest they are? He did not retaliate. He defended himself against the lies and falsehoods and the smearing of his name and his movie being taken from him. And then the New York Times smearing him and that outright hit piece that they did on him. Justin retaliated by claiming Blake and Ryan were out to destroy his reputation and allegedly hired a crisis manager to conduct a PR campaign against the family, which he also denied doing. Okay? Which is he didn't do it. There is no evidence. And in fact, it's so dumb. And the fact that they have no evidence, you know what they're calling it now? An undetectable smear campaign. You can't see it. There's no evidence of it, but we know it's going on. We know for sure. So this undetectable, meaning invisible, meaning non-existent smear campaign against her and her family, that's what Justin Baldoni did. He retaliated in that way. Now back to Hugh. It sickens him that they're being dragged through the mud when, in his view, they're the victims in all of this. He's been very supportive behind the scenes, and he's already defending them to anyone who will listen. So going in front of the court is no worry for him. I'm sorry, why aren't you 10 toes in these streets? You seem to have a problem to say it publicly, and you have these sources that you're hiding behind. Why are you not standing on business since you have no problem with any of this? But of course, you're tied up in this whole thing, so you have to. Ryan Reynolds knows all your secrets. Blake Lively probably knows some of you and Ryan's secrets, knows where the bodies are buried. You know, most likely, I don't have it clear cut. You participated in what happened to Justin Baldoni. You certainly participated in what happened to him on Deadpool with the Nice Pool character. So of course it's incestuous. You have no choice but to stand and make these comments, but hiding behind sources. I want to see you do a press conference and come out and speak to defend them, since you have no problem with it, Hugh. Like, it just really pisses me off, just the language of this article and how Hugh has stood behind him and just how everything has happened, guys. It's just really, really, I'm really angry about it because none of this had to happen. Blake did not have to do this to Justin, but for some reason in her narcissistic mind, I guess she thought that she was going to have a victory and this was necessary to destroy someone else in order to build yourself up. But I also think I really hate bullies in this way. And I have a big mouth. And so when I see somebody being bullied like this, I just cannot help myself. It angers me. It hurts me. I take it personally when this happens. I don't know if it's because I'm an empath and I really feel things deeply, but I feel like when I talk about Justin, I just can't imagine what he was going through, the moments and seeing what was happening. And then to the point of being hospitalized, I know what crippling fear, crippling when someone is coming against you, and how debilitating that is, how you can barely function, you can barely eat, you can't sleep. It is life threatening, because a lot of people in this situation will take their own, I don't want to say certain things because YouTube will do it, but it gets me emotional because I know of people. There's a 10-year-old girl recently who was bullied, and she decided she didn't want to be here anymore, and her parents are now grieving. When I see these stories, just because Justin Baldoni is an adult, you have to understand the power dynamics in it. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean it's less gruesome. It can be even worse, especially if you have a family that are relying on you to support them. And then you have all of Hollywood that's going to come against you just because somebody said something that was untrue. So, guys, I appreciate your support here. I appreciate you rocking with me. I am about to go into an interview with you guys' favorite Crazy Days and Nights NT lawyer. We're going to be clarifying some questions you guys had, as well as going into some new topics. So make sure you have subscribed and hit the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any of my updates. And with that, I will see you on the next one.